Hello, everyone. I'm Paul, and I love the browser, and I also love Notebook LM. And I use Notebook LM all the time to kind of collate research and then be able to kind of do research on top of the research and kind of create new slide decks and presentations and a whole bunch of other things. I really like the fact that Notebook LM can transform one set of data into another format, and I was like, I kind of want that in the browser. I want to be able to kind of, navigate the web, collect and bookmark things, and then just be able to kind of query it and make something new off the back of it. And so I kind of wanted something like Notebook LM for the browser. It was kind of, I've not seen it happen. I thought, maybe I'll just try and build it. And so here we are. I just want to kind of demonstrate this pretty basic experience. So this is a simple Chrome extension that I've built. It's not public yet. It's just something that I built. I thought it'd be kind of quite fun. Has this concept of, different notebooks. I've already got one here called AI Theory. Just me collating this for the demo. You can collate these different sources from any number of different inputs that we have inside the browser. So tabs, tab groups, any of your bookmarks or your history. And when you add them into a notebook, you'll then be able to query them and then also transform them as well. And so I just want to show you how this kind of works. So I'm going to add a couple of posts in Dead Framework Theory. There's another one. I'm going to add a couple of posts in. Actually, one nice little thing. I'm just going to open a couple of new tabs. And I want to show you this as well because I was quite happy with this. If I select multiple tabs, you can then add all three of them in one go. I thought that was quite a neat little feature. Anyway, so you have all these active sources. I've got 6 of them at the moment. And then you can query them. What does the author think the future is in a short paragraph? Can't spell. Or 2. And so I'm actually sending all of these pages, markdown versions of the pages, up to Gemini. It doesn't have to be just Gemini. I'll show you in a second. It can be the Chrome's built-in AI. It's not as powerful, but it's kind of handy when you don't have an API key. OpenAI, Anthropic, any OpenAI compatible browser. So let me get back to the chat. And so we can see here, the author envisions a future where the web evolves from an author-centric medium into a truly multimodal, user-centric hypermedia platform. Anyway, it's pretty accurate. It's got the different sources in it. In theory, I think this actually works. It'll actually point you to the individual. Yeah, it's not actually highlighted. There's a couple of bugs still, but it points you to the exact point where it cross-references from the actual chat history as well. But I do think that this is quite a powerful, vision for what hypermedia is we have one form of content that can be converted and mapped into another form of content, and collections of content, that is. And so, yeah, this is just a chat, but I thought it'd be kind of pretty neat. Now, this doesn't always work. I'm still working on it. Maybe create a slide deck out of all these sites. And so you just see me pick my ear, but I'm not going to edit that out. So it's generating, it's doing its thing. This can take a couple of minutes, or a bit of time to actually create. But I think it's pretty neat once that kind of does come through. So yeah, it's off generating. Anyway, I thought this was pretty interesting as a tool. Oh, okay, I'll tell you that story in a minute. So here's the presentation. I can page through it. Original vision of the Memex, this is actually in these posts. I remember this one. About linking, what comes next. I actually think that this, must be a bug here with some fonts, some colors, but we can sort that out. This is a demo. I think it's like super powerful, and I'm actually very happy with what I've been able to kind of build, and things that I can do with this. And now there's going to be a lot more. I kind of want to add in, how to convert it to an actual podcast if you want it, or a video potentially. It's pretty neat to be able to do kind of like data tables if there's a lot of information in some of the, you're trying to compare tech specs of like AMD CPUs and stuff, which is one of the things I tested with. And I think this ability to be able to kind of morph any content into anything else, all powered inside the user agent, the browser, I think is a very powerful kind of application of things like large language models. I just want to see more people, explore what this means. Anyway, I might not launch this. I don't know whether I can open source the code just yet. But it was all built using large language models and tools. I built the very first version of it in about 2.5 hours. Obviously, I've done a lot more since to add more in, but I've been just using, Gemini CLI and Claude and a couple of others just to really help me kind of flesh out what we're doing. And the design came from Stitch as well. So yeah, I'm super happy with this, and I think it's a very powerful addition to kind of maybe power users of the browser, maybe. And so we'll go from there. Anyway, thank you.